There is no team in Axe.
Huh. Oxygen-rich atmosphere. Giant testicle monsters. We'll be
All right. On to our next match. Okay, let's hear it for our first team. We have PowerGaming! Making their way to the stage, we have PowerGaming. All right, let's hear it. PowerGaming on the way to the stage. Okay. Your opponents making their way. We have Team Tangerine. making their way to the stage, your very own team, Tangerine. Here they are. Okay. Oh yes. AD, Onyx, Nova. All right. So, ADTR. You guys played PowerGaming before?
No.
Never played. Do you know their game?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you beat them?
Of course.
I asked him if they can beat you. He said with no hesitation, of course. How does that make you feel? What do you want to say to him when he says, I can beat you anytime. Of course. What do you want to say?
Let's try.
Let's try. What else do you want to say?
Nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Good luck.
Good luck. He thinks that you need luck to beat them. There's no other way for you to beat them but with luck. That's the only way you're gonna beat PowerGaming. If you were lucky today, you might beat them. But if you had no luck, you have no chance. What do you have to say to that man that just threw those insults at you?
By today, I'm gonna shut down the power.
I'm gonna shut down the power! I'm gonna shut down the power because your name is PowerGaming and power is something that's usually shut down. That's gonna be him doing that to you as a team. How do you feel when he's threatening to shut you down?
You can't even shut down the power.
You can't even shut down the power. He says that if there's a light switch and you have to turn it off, that you cannot even do that. What more beat them? You have no capability to shut power down. Light switch, toaster, microwave, anything that requires power, you cannot do it. Insulting your capability to do simple tasks is what he says to you. What do you have to say?
I'm gonna crush everything.
You're gonna what?
Crush everything.
I'm gonna crush everything. That was a lot of work for Trash Talk. Okay, give them a round of applause. Of course, PowerGaming and Tangerine. Handshakes, look at that, smiling, so friendly. I'm going to shut down the power. You cannot even shut down the power. That is, imagine. Yo, I'm gonna beat you. You can't beat me. Okay, that's how you do that. All right, there you have it. You have PowerGaming and you, of course, Tangerine. Good luck to you both. We're gonna head over to the panel and we're gonna get started in our match. Good luck, guys. On to you guys. Here we go.
Thank you, Ari, and indeed we are ready for some best of one, some elimination matches here. We're sitting here with Winter and Odie Pixel, and we're gonna see some teams going home. Will the power be shut down, you think, Winter?
9K trash talk.
Oh, I think they have a little bit left to learn. Slightly.
I think Power are probably the favorite teams here in this series, in my opinion. I think they have much more depth as a team, and Tangerine, obviously a much newer team. They just got together like a week ago, a week and a half ago. So I would rate PowerGaming definitely the favorites here in this series.
So the power is not going to get shut down?
Probably not.
There's going to be orange juice, Owen.
Orange, tangerine juice.
They're from Orange Esports. I saw it on their shirt. It sounds better than tangerine
orange is
juice.
It's all the same to me, orange little round fruits. But indeed, I've got to agree with Winter coming into this one. I think you would see PowerGaming as the stronger side, especially if you just consider the performance from both teams that we've seen this round. Yeah. Obviously, yesterday, Tangerine gave us that very exciting game at the end of the day. So I'm excited for this best of one because I think we're going to see some great action coming out from both teams. But Tangerine definitely the side that we know less about. They're a little newer, coming through the qualifiers. They've got to prove themselves more than PowerGaming has in the past. And I mean, I'm just excited for this one. Winter, of course, is going to know a lot about this because you met Tangerine in the qualifiers for this tournament, didn't you, Winter?
Yeah, sure, I know. I know you were going to go there.
Well, at least he said you met them in the qualifiers. He didn't say you lost against them in the qualifiers.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, we lost.
It was a 3-game series, so you got to play a lot against them because you played the full series. What's their weakness?
Well, I think they're a team that focuses a lot on greed. They were really greedy in the series they played against us. And
you allowed them to be greedy?
One game we punished them with draw. We were successful. The other games we didn't really get draw, and we were really unsuccessful at punishing them.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of new team as well. We didn't understood how to react against a team that plays very greedily. But we could see in the games that they played yesterday, when they were really greedy, all the games, their lanes were really, really tough. They were punished by their opponents. They got aggro tri-lane a lot, and they just lost control of the game because they were greedy, their lanes went badly, and the game was over.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are very new.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of the players, though, are not new. And one of them, Kessie Kimber, one of the names that stands out from the lineup. I mean, as a player, what do you think of Kessie?
I think he's the best player here.
He's their star player, really.
Yeah. He's very stable. Super reliable.
He's been in a lot of lineup. He's been around for quite a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he took like probably a 4 or 5 months break, and he actually got into an accident a few months ago.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, he broke his arm in a car.
So he couldn't play at all, or did he manage to still?
No, he couldn't play for 2 months.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it really is his big return to the stage, and with
How
a
much
team
did
like
it
Tangerine.
affect your skill, you think, if you actually can't play?
You just get
Sure.
rusty. He
Okay.
said it wasn't much.
Okay.
It was like,
Okay.
but he broke his arm.
Yeah,
So he
still,
couldn't play.
still not a nice thing.
I mean, if Fear could play again after I think his injury is far worse than what he went through. So
Yeah, because it lasted
Yeah.
for a lot longer, didn't it?
Yes.
It was a lot of downtime potentially, but
So we are
through.
in the lower bracket. There's 4 games that are going to come your way at home and here also. For best of ones, both MVP and Fnatic are in the best of ones as well. Who would have thought?
I mean, we kind of expected that though. Like most of us.
You were,
yeah,
definitely,
favored.
yes.
I mean, some of them as well. Like favored their opponents, especially
Yeah.
the Mineski versus MVP game. We both, even though it was a tough series, but we did expect Mineski just based on their first few games yesterday, where they looked really good as a team. They meshed really well together. They had a lot of heroes. They picked sniper. Everyone was excited. So we rated them higher than MVP.
Yeah, because also Execration versus Fnatic was a tough series, right?
Yeah,
Definitely
I
didn't
kind of
make
felt
it
like
easy.
because Fnatic with sort of like a weird combination of players with their new roster, and I think they needed more time to gel as a team. So I didn't really see their roster playing well at the start of the formation. I could see it playing well, maybe say 1 month down the road,
Yeah.
2 months down the road, but not now.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you think teams like Fnatic will realise that from this tournament, depending on how they do anyway, even though they've had a loss already, do they just take away from that the fact that they're self-aware that they are a new lineup as this, and they won't be too beat up about losses like that?
Yeah, probably it's like you just made a team and didn't work out. You need more time to practice. You want to know why you lost and try to fix the stuff that made you lost and move on.
Well, Tangerine is a fairly unknown team. As stated, they have only formed about a week ago. Luckily, though, we got a chance to talk to one of the players of Tangerine before this tournament. Let's take a look at that interview.
Team Tangerine was first formed. It was just right before the offline qualifiers. At first it was just me and Kachik was there, and then we approached Nova to join us, and we lack of 2 players. So, but then Orange Esport, which is Frank, approached us like asking us if we want players, the 2 players from Orange Starring. So basically, it's because of before the players they're gonna be disbanded. So we asked Frank, like, can we take Roger and Sonic come in broad? And then he said it's fine. So we start like 2 days before the offline qualifiers. I'm not so surprised that we are gonna qualify the offline qualifiers because most of my players, they are young, and I'm sure their capabilities is there. I need to bring them out how to win games. So yeah, I'm happy that we are qualified. To be the only like 2 Asian teams that qualify for this MPGL. It's quite fun on it because it's most Southeast Asian team, and mostly that join is top Southeast Asian team. And for us, but not only for us, but for everyone, it's kind of new team. Everyone reshuffle, so it's gonna be fun. I actually really looking forward against Fnatic. I want to see how potential they are, but yeah, it's really long road for us to go there. For us to winning the MPGL is really good start for us because we're really new, and then we doesn't have a proper tight schedule of training. We still like just play around and just try to do our best in this tournament without expect anything.
Yeah, ADTR says he would like to face a Fnatic if you get to choose an opponent. Unfortunately for him though, the winner of this best of one will move on to face MVP, so you gotta win a little bit more before you face Fnatic, but there's definitely a chance for them to get there. They do come in as the underdog, and he realizes that himself as well, saying he has no expectations, and they're just playing to see what will happen and what they can get and how much they can grow here in this tournament. Same thing goes for Power Rangers, you guess? Oh. That is, I believe, the drums of war. The draft has begun. We are even already a few picks in, as you can see behind there. PowerGaming versus Tangerine. Best of one lower bracket. PowerGaming Dire side, Tangerine a Radiant side, and well, we got ourselves a draft on the way.
Yeah, nothing too dissimilar here from any of the other games we've seen, apart from obviously the Leshran from Tangerine. We saw yesterday DDZ play the Leshran to great success. The team was very good at utilizing it. So Tangerine taking that one out, and obviously a hero that can combo nicely with that Shadow Demon pick. Elsewhere, this is pretty much Classic C region, isn't it, Winter?
Yeah, most of the heroes that are picked right now are the team's comfort picks. PowerGaming usually runs strats around Juggernaut, two cores they can fight. Early Juggernaut is something that they are extremely comfortable around, and it's quite difficult for them to gank him. Sometimes they put Jug mid in certain scenarios if the team is trying to put a lot of pressure on the mid lane. So it's going to be a lot of options open for PowerGaming.
I mean, also looking at, obviously, with the Shadow Demon pick, Luna's still there available, but is it unlikely that they run like a Luna and then a Jug mid, or can you still do that?
That's possible. It's still possible. Yeah. Luna SD is like, I think we saw one game yesterday, was it yesterday or today, where a team did an aggro lane with SD plus Luna to pressure the team that picked greedily. So I would say it's still a possibility if they want to go down that route to
yeah, I think we saw SD, Luna and Sky go aggressive against the Drow strat.
Yeah, I think that was that game. It's definitely possible for them, whereas for Tangerine, they're just building a draft around good lanes, good roam. Mirana might still be, I mean, for this team, they do play a lot of support Mirana. I've seen like twice, and they played support Mirana against us as well previously. So I would say maybe they still have that option open. Certain teams would mostly always play core Mirana, but this team is more likely to have a support Mirana. So we'll see what they do with this pick here. Void, Ogre, both very solid in the lanes as well.
It's going to be interesting to see what they use to combo with this. I mean, also going back to PowerGaming, what they use in reaction to their Shadow Demon pick already. Obviously, with the Dazzle, they have got that synergy there.
Reserve time! Radiant team pick.
There is, yeah.
Dazzle, yeah. Right now, the first three heroes of Tangerine is really weak against Huskar. So,
I mean, even to the point where do you think Tangerine might feel that they have to pick Huskar?
10 seconds remaining.
I'm thinking about it because their lineup is just terrible.
I mean, it's
Huskar.
the best of one.
5 seconds remaining.
Huskar and a Dazzle.
Well, unless you're gonna pick like something like an AA here, which is also good against Juggernaut healing ward. That could be an option.
And then your Mirana is a core, though.
Yeah. Then you have to run Mirana as a core.
Yeah, so far they've only run it on
tough junction.
They're taking a lot of time. I think they're talking about the Huskar. I think they're talking about the Huskar, aren't they?
Oh my god.
The Huskar kind of stalemate that these teams are locked in. Who is going to
Reserve time!
It'll be the first time that we're going to see a
Dire team pick.
Other than Oracle, by the way.
Huskar.
A good hero to point out, or a good player to point out.
Radiant team ban.
Has 2 amazing games on that Oracle.
Is that preparing for a Huskar?
Yeah, it's a pretty good hero versus Huskar.
Yep. It's got to come out. PowerGaming. They realize they've got the play there.
They have Dazzle and SD, so and the healing ward. But
10 seconds remaining.
They actually put Huskar mid against Viper. Viper does very well against
5 seconds
Husker.
remaining.
And this is a team that will utilize mid matchups. They would give Kerchi a very good mid matchup, like in the games that they
Reserve time.
They focus a lot of priority in giving him a good 1v1 lane, and he's going to dominate his lane. And
10 seconds remaining.
And for Viper, it's the kind of hero that he's going to excel at.
Dire team ban.
Want to put Husker on a safe lane and just let Jug take the Viper. I'm not sure. If they leave Husker mid, they need to help him.
Do you think there is
Dire
a chance
team
that
pick.
Tangerine will pick up an A as the final pick if it's not banned out here from PowerGaming, or are they just better supports that you can use elsewhere other than just kind of, it's going to be banned out?
Yeah,
anyway.
there's no
just,
way.
You just don't let
You
it
just
happen.
don't want.
Yeah.
Because you have healing ward. There's one hero that counters 3 of your heroes. This is not
10 seconds
PowerGaming, as you said, they
remaining.
pretty much set up a perfect Huskar lineup here, but Tangerine...
5
they've got
seconds
close.
remaining.
They've still got one
Right
more
now, they
pick.
just need a hero that can protect the Huskar, like maybe a mech carrier, like a
Reserve time.
They're still tied. Tide would be pretty decent against Void, because Tide against Void matchup is like, it's always gonna be like when he initiates onto your team, you want to be ready to jump behind the corner sphere if you're playing to ravage his teammates. So I always like that kind of matchup. It goes both ways. If you get caught in the corner, you're just gonna die as well. So you have to be really careful with your positioning. But that's the kind of hero that they need right now.
MTR is the offlaner for PowerGaming. So far, he's only played Darkseer and
Sand King.
Sand King.
Sand
So
King.
both are actually banned out by themselves.
Yes.
Next level strat right
Next
there.
level counter pick. I mean, we saw MTR having an amazing Sand King game yesterday, actually.
Yep.
But one of those type of playmakers would be really
There's still
good.
like Clockwork, but Clockwork isn't so good here. There's
like the
Nyx,
Titan
there's
too.
still Nyx as well, but Nyx isn't that great versus those heroes, in my opinion. I think Tidewolf would be one of their best choices here. Mech carrier plus AoE to protect the Huskar in the fights. Very easy, straightforward way to play the game.
How do you feel about something out of the box center Shaker?
Shaker could work too. Beastmaster, Shaker.
Radiant
Fits
team
the type
pick.
of hero that they need.
There's not a lot of offlaners left.
Yeah, but Shaker doesn't get a mech for your team. I mean,
True.
You can get a mech, but it's not great.
Centaur.
Centaur, oh, I like that
It's
a
the
lot.
kind of hero that they could get, they need, but it doesn't buy the mech, so they need a mech from someone else.
10 seconds
But it's pretty
remaining.
good versus the Viper because of the Stampede. You want
5
to focus and
seconds
slow down one target
remaining.
against the Stampede to save you. But I still feel like the Tide would have been like a
Reserve
really stable
time.
pick here.
Do you think
5 seconds remaining.
Like a silencer to make sure none of these saves are here each time the Huskar goes in?
Yeah, it's possible. Silencer is great against Dazzle and SD. It's a very good hero to counter the saves. Then they could actually just put... Oh, they're going to just run Mirana core, as a support and run another core.
Do you like this? Picking up the Slark as this final kind of trump card?
I think the Silencer would have maybe provided them more in terms of team fight, but Slug gives them much more stability when the game goes long against the Huskar and the Jug. Slug is very good against Huskar and Jug later into the game. But in the early stages, you might get pressured.
It feels like a lot of this game is going to be on Rod getting Dazzle and Shadow Demon in the Chronospheres. You know, disabling those backliners, because other than
it's
that,
not even that.
how do they stop it?
Look at their lanes. They could even actually pressure SD, Dazzle, and Jug against your Slug. Slug's not going to do anything with the Ogre. They're going to try and roam, and Mirana's support isn't that great if you're babysitting. So right now, Tangerine has very weak lanes. They might actually just get
Prepare for battle!
SD, Dazzle, and one of the heroes, I'm not sure, and then just give one of the cores a good 1v1 matchup against Void. I believe Huskar does really well against Void, and even Centaur against Void is not that bad.
So based on draft, who do you favor?
I think PowerGaming has a very good laning phase with that. If they put their lanes correctly, they're going to have a good laning phase and just going to be able to snowball with the Huskar and Dazzle.
Well, game one, and actually the only game, because it is a best of one. Tangerine and PowerGaming, ODPixel Winter.
Thank you very much indeed. As we get this one started, looks like we'll just have a short pause. Sean is just himself set up, but I mean, considering the drafts, considering obviously coming into this, we said already PowerGaming, we felt we're going to be the stronger side. Do you still side with them here? Do you feel that they just have the stronger lineup overall because they did get that Huskar through?
Stronger lineup, I think, because they have better lanes. As long as they have good lanes. I think SD, Dazzle, and Centaur makes a terrifying lane. Soul Catcher into Double H. GG, hero dead. And then they can have Huskar against Void, which is damage over time against Void, which is great. Mid lane, Jug against Viper, I wouldn't say a good lane for the Jug, but you're going to be able to farm. You have healing ward, you have permanent shield. You should be able to survive the lane. And because when you pick Viper, you're meant to win the lane. So if you draw even 50-50 or you don't lose that much, it's already itself a great victory for the opposing team. So I think that's the straightforward game plan right now. Have the tri-lane against the slot, give Huskar a good 1v1, and make sure mid doesn't lose that bad.
Because this really does seem like a lineup for Tangerine that if PowerGaming get ahead at the start,
they're just going to lose, yeah. Because Huskar
you
can't
can't
be
pull
stopped.
back with a Slark and a Viper, can you? You've got to have that edge.
So looking at the way the heroes are positioned right now, so it seems like they're going to go as a tri-lane most likely, but I'm not sure if it's going to be with but I think the best probably is a Centaur with the SD and the Dazzle, because you provide the most
30 seconds to battle.
And the other lanes make sense. Junk against Viper and Huskar against Void.
Already you can see PowerGaming.
Dazzle!
Anyone they see will just
First blood!
the Void.
And they found someone guessing coming a little bit too close, and here's the disruption setup for PowerGaming to come in, surround the Viper, a hefty heal bomb into the Who's Dom. Ketchik's going to be the first to fall down as first blood going the way of JYC. A force ADTR back as well.
Begins!
PowerGaming with a very nice rotation to kick things off here.
as tribute.
JYC did.
JYC.
Time is money.
That isn't that bad for them. Like if someone else like the Jug or one of the cores got the first bird, it might actually give them more problems. But then again, it's still a first bird given away to the opponent. So looking at the lanes now, so Centaur with the dual support here. So Huskar is heading top, so all the lanes is really, really good for PowerGaming. And it seems like Tangerine wants to move the lanes right away, because Void is not going to do anything against the Huskar.
But at the same time, I mean, Slark trying to find a farm in a lane against the
Slark's
Huskar.
going top, yeah.
Is that going to be okay? Can the Mirana create enough space for the Slark to get
He definitely
CS?
needs someone to help him. He can't lane alone against the Huskar. So, yep, Mirana's going to go top. If he lands an arrow, and I mean, I guess if Huskar's full HP, they probably won't get the kill, but I think this is the best they can hope for in the situation that they're put in the draft that they're selected for themselves. This is going to allow the Slark to at least get some farm. And Void's going to be okay getting levels in the bottom lane. It's not that easy to kill them because of the time up.
You're talking about this bottom lane as well. We can see they're ignoring the Void, going straight in for Nova. The heal bomb as well off the illusions, doing a hell of a lot of damage. They'll move in onto Nova, pop the Verify just enough to keep him alive as he backs up to the safety behind the tower.
Tell me, Owen, what other hero would have survived that gang? Gosh, this hero.
It's a good hero, Magic. You can see why we're seeing a lot of bans for it coming out here in this Southeast Asian Championship. A lot of focus on this Ogre Magi. And rightfully so.
I mean, so far the lanes are much better for Tangerine after rotating the Slark towards the top lane, the Void towards the bottom lane. We'll see after the Ogre goes back to base whether he chooses to stay bottom. He probably would be better off roaming though. I think the Void would be fine on his own here. So roaming to try and kill. Oh,
mid lane, they're talking about roaming to try and kill ADTR. Heading towards mid, hits an arrow. Allowing Ketchik to just close the gap, and Viper in a very good place in the mid lane.
This was what he did to us as well. Yeah, so landing random arrows around. Makes it very hard. Like the way you have to play about it is you need to commit one of the supports to constantly scout and follow the Mirana around so he doesn't pressure the lane. But SD and Deza are not the best supports for that, but they can still do it. They need someone to actually just cover the lanes to ensure that the Mirana doesn't get kills like this.
Daz was actually TP'd up to the top lane to help out the Huskar and the lane against Slark.
They see the Mirana. Yeah, SD found the Mirana in the jungle. So they're going to be able to have a good idea of where the Mirana is roaming, which is extremely important when you're playing a roaming Mirana like this. And Mozun on the Dazzle has rotated all the way to top to make sure that the Slark plus the Mirana rotations don't get killed into the Huskar. So basically, I think PowerGaming are making the right rotations to make sure that the roams from the Ogre and the Mirana don't work. And if that doesn't happen, all the lanes goes by normally, they should be fine. And Huskar will be able to get a good timing on this armlet.
Invisibility
As well. The bottom lane, it's been given a lot of space now, of course, to the Centaur to get some farm. Void hanging around. Just to be careful with that SD.
Yes, a TP already. I wonder if they're gonna try and change their lanes here.
I mean, is that the play for Tangerine? It's
I'm
just
not
a
sure
lane
though.
matchup,
Like,
so
the Slug is not going to be able to farm much on top right now. He might consider TPing down to bottom sometime soon. And Mirana is currently setting up mid, trying to land an arrow onto the Juggernaut. Not an easy task in the mid lane. He's placed himself behind the trees here, trying to find an angle to land the arrow, but Jug is at full health. Not going to be an easy kill.
Healing Ward has just gone down, so he's not going to have that to back him up. Mirana, the patience here.
He needs to like harass him a bit, lower his HP, then try to land an arrow to get a kill. He's near the siege creep though, it wouldn't be easy for him to land an arrow there.
very hard indeed. Maybe they can catch Jack off guard if he comes near the tree line.
Just look at how aggressive he's playing. Like the Jug knows he's picking. He knows that the Mirana is nearby trying to land an arrow because the Viper is playing so aggressive.
Rod just trading hits with JYC. Coming in as MCR.
Mine!
Side pull, Jacko pops a salve as well.
He
So
knows, he's really safe. He
he's
knows.
just making sure that he doesn't get caught
Generation
off
is
on low.
not yours to offer.
And Nova here on the Ogre, gonna find a Valkyrie on top. So Slug is starting to slow down in terms of his farm right now after getting free farm for the first 2 minutes. So they might consider moving their lanes in a short while. If they leave the lanes as it is right now, Slug is gonna suffer in terms of farm.
He's going to head across as well.
Yeah, this is because of the pressure.
The arrow actually hits again. ADTR going in. JYC with a disruption to hold Ketchik back, and now with the heals from
the
Dazzle, they'll be able
Ketchik.
to force back. Ketchik, he's going to be taken down. X-Nova turning it with ADTR, seeing if they can finish off Jacko, but Jacko looks to be fine and gets himself back over to his high ground. At the same time, down on the bottom lane, PowerGaming finding the kill
Did he find a
onto
solo
Void.
kill on bottom? He solo killed the Void as Centaur? Guess he must just have been really low, made a mistake, just got stomped into double A.
Straight up outplay there.
I mean, that was such a good decision making by actually not disrupting the Jug. He disrupted the Viper instead and dropped the Soul Catcher on top to turn the gank around.
Getting gone on in the mid lane again. Jacko even turning around, ready to try and go back in. He's a little bit scared of X-Nova.
He has no mana for the spin though, otherwise he might have considered going for the kill there. But last minute of gameplay, PowerGaming making very, very good rotations and decision making, resulting in 2 kills, and I mean the game has so far taken a big swing towards their favor because of those exchanges.
With this movement around the lanes as well, Tangerine
Void against Huskar.
just kind of testing heroes out against Huskar, saying, it's not a nice lane for you, you try.
It's
not a
better for the Slug to farm him out here anyway,
you
so
need to get that
they
Slug
have
in
to
a good
get the
place.
Slug towards the bottom lane. It's like an inherited disadvantage because they drafted weak lanes, so they're gonna be forced to move around all the time when their cores come farm. It's just the way their lineup works. And PowerGaming with a much more stable laning phase are gonna be able to just get more farm and try to move their supports to make sure the ganks from the Mirana and Ogre. That's all they do. Follow them around, place boards, make sure you see them.
JYC and Mosin on the move.
You become
Mosin taking the top, maybe Void a little bit back.
Huskar's getting dive at top.
Mirana jumping forward, trying to go for it. They're going to pop the Stampede. DDZ falling incredibly low. The bashes come through.
war has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
That was required.
I hadn't spawned
kill
yet.
against PowerGaming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
PowerGaming
attack.
are going to realize this and try and dive in deep onto Shionyx with a double edge. TR will be able to finish him off, but at the same time, Viper gets a kill onto Jug Ketchik, taking down Jacko in the mid lane. Solo kill there with the use of the Viper strike.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Use the spin to farm.
Radiant's towers are fortified.
Really happened there.
Just like war has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
Things don't go according to plan for both the teams here.
What do you think the build's going to be for catching this game? Is he going to get the mechanism on the Viper?
Nah, I guess he'll go for more carry build, like Lance, Dragon Lance, to S and Y. Maybe a Manta. Manta's pretty good against Jug.
What do you think about Centaur going for Vanguard before Blink?
I think with his situation right now is fine because he actually got a
Dire
really good
structures
start,
are
and
fortified.
Like I said, they need to park heroes on every lane and make it very hard for the enemy to gank them because Tangerine is constantly moving the Mirana and Ogre to try to set up ganks. So if you build HP and it makes it difficult for them to gank, it's going to be difficult for them to roam. And you're going to sit in the lane and just keep farming.
JYC and MTR position towards the mid lane, smoked up. Tangerine
They're really
aware.
scared because they don't see anyone at bottom lane. They know there's a movement made by PowerGaming. The creep wave is very near to the tower and no one's farming the creep wave on the off lane, so it shows Tangerine that something is going on.
Looks like unlikely to find anything. They know X-Nova's around, but smoke's off. PowerGaming unable to close the gap onto any of the side of Tangerine. Top lane, TDZ continues to harass back the Void.
He's going to have his armlet soon. So their timing's going to start to roll here for PowerGaming. Once they get the armlet, they're going to try to force fights. And with the Dazzle and the SD, 2 defenses, of course, to keep the Huskar alive in the team fights constantly.
Down towards the bottom lane, Jacko picks up an Invis rune, maybe seeing if he can make something happen. around bottom. They made a little bit of a go onto X-Nova,
The
but
two supports are like taking the safe lane. The Slug has gone jungling. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this lane at all. I'm just
Radiant's
jungle,
top
make sure
tower is under
I get farm, I stay
attack.
off the map. And top lane, Husker has jumped in. Well, he tried to jump in, but time walks away and gets his TP out.
nonetheless, TDC doing a fair bit of bullying against Rods. Face this void. Unfortunately for Jacko, unable to find that hero that he was looking for, just hoping for a pick off in the jungle with the Invis Omni Slash.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, right now the Viper, at this point of the game, he's like the strongest hero on the map. So basically, PowerGaming has to try and avoid until they get the armlet on Husker. Then they can try to fight against the Viper. But at this stage, you should always try to avoid fighting the Viper until you're ready. Because Viper's extremely strong.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Extra advantages by taking that fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
DDZ, the back of the dazzle, he's going to be there. DDZ falling low, Shonix boosting, the heal comes out, Shallow Grave as well, and DDZ just jumps in onto ADTR. ADTR leaps away, Kedgick turning up the fight as well. They look to DDZ, they'll take down the Husker, now trying for more. Mosin in trouble as he backs away, gets the heal off. MTR and JYC turning up as PowerGaming to turn it around. Can they close the gap? They have found Rogi, but he gets the time walk off. And it will just be the 1-for-1 trade, but Tangerine, of course, getting that Husker kill. Very, very valuable. Any attempt that they can succeed in taking down DDZ at this point is going to be huge for them.
It's an expensive price, so they had to use the Chrono for that, and 1-for-1. It's not even that bad for PowerGaming, even losing the Husker because of the Chrono. So right now, let's see whether they can use this time. Oh, he's going for a straight up Crimson Guard on the Centaur. Not even going to go for his Blink after the Vanguard. It's going to negate the damage from the Viper, but I'm not sure about
So we're going to DDZ.
Yes, he's on the done.
There's a lot of trouble here as DDZ jumps in. He's just going to go for the straight TP out. Is he going to make it? Oh, he might burn out. Right, he does. Burning Spear stacking up too much for him to live through, even under the Phantom. Now getting fun himself a pick. DDZ, after dying, quickly gets himself involved in a kill and gets the ball back on rolling.
Double damage.
Next objective for PowerGaming is to secure the Roshan when they can, or bashes on Jacko. But no Chronos for any kill. Power is going to be able to secure Roshan in the next couple of minutes. It's going to put them in like a very good position. And for Tangerine, they're not even going to go for it right now. So Tangerine has no Chronosphere up yet. Void is low on mana, so...
Dark light. Dyer's top tower is under attack. Axe is impressed. Roshan was a worthy foe. Dyer's top tower is under attack.
They've got it hit. JIC, most of DDC.
Please don't do that when I'm playing with you. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Please, Owen. Pop your BKBs, pop your armor.
Much like cordwood before Axe's axe, Dyer's top tower is under attack. Dyer's middle tower has fallen, much like cordwood before Axe's axe. Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
To the top lane, he's continue farming at TDC. He's got the armlet toggling, he's manning up just for, but he's going to lose the Aegis very soon after he gets it here. Tangerine are out, and DDZ with that TP up top. What was he thinking there, Winter?
I mean, he was just he just overestimated how strong he was, and you see a stampede there. I'm not sure what's going on with Power right now. That was 30 seconds of very uncoordinated play. TPing up the Husker, giving away a free Aegis. He TP'd out without the Dazzle following him, that's number one as well. So no one was there to bail him out if anything happened. And he didn't get any kills after trading the Aegis. No kills.
Dyer's bottom tower is taking many wounds.
I'm sure that's a legit reason, Mr. Pixel.
Bottom lane, Shonix keeping the pressure on. He's nearly got the Shadow Blade on Slark. I mean, when he's got the Shadow Blade, do you imagine we'll see him be active, or is he going to just continue to farm, get the Silver Edge before he starts going around for the kills?
I mean, you're going to try and catch off the Dazzle or the SD as much as you can.
Dyer's top tower is under attack!
This game, the supports
Dire structures can take all the hurt Radiant cares to heap upon it. Heaven or hell, Dyer's top tower isn't one of them.
I can see the Slug falling out of control in this kind of game.
Top TDZ. Eyeing up the side of Tangerine, but Tangerine given the space to take down the tower. Things coming out, they have a Chronosphere at the ready, but at the same time, PowerGaming has got backup coming inbound. Demon and Dazzle are there ready to help him.
They see the Void, but the Centaur's bottom lane and he doesn't have a blink, so they can't really initiate properly. That's why I'm not very sure about the choice going for the Crimson Guard, not going for the blink after the Vanguard. Super questionable right now because they have no way of starting the fights.
Jacko, Shonix, where they can take down on his own. Shonix now with Shadow Blade complete.
Gosh, I'm sure this is not the right idea. This early on. It's a good item in this situation and in this game, but
Radiant's bottom tower has been laid low.
So right now, Tangerine realizes there's no blink on Centaur. It's difficult for them to get that message blink. And indeed, they try for it, but Centaur pops the Stampede to escape. TR gets back. Top Moonlight Shadow comes through as X-Nova for the team.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Keeping it safe, but of course, continuous space given to DZZ. So this game very, very close at the moment. I mean, who does that favor with these lineups at this stage? Who's going to be happy with the fact that they've come out of the laning stage at pretty much even Stevens?
Tangerine is probably more happy because they have weaker lanes and they had to like play musical lanes, run the slug around, go jungle, move the Void top, move the Void bottom. So I guess they're much more happy with the outcome.
Radiant found the weakness in Dire's bottom tower. It turns out, if you hit it enough, it will fall.
But Centaur, for some reason, decided that blink is not needed this game. That's gonna, get your report in a pub if you don't have a blink. I got reported for getting a Vanguard the other day, so.
Yeah, but you were playing Oracle, weren't you?
Definitely not Oracle. I've not even played one game on that hero. I'm not lying to you.
I wouldn't call it playing even from what I saw. MTR. 1600 in the Mooka Bank at the moment, it's indeed. I mean, once he does get that blink on top of the Crimson, it's still going to be very good timing. I mean, he's second highest on the net worth.
Yeah, but it's not that useful if you're not getting important items for the team. You can have like 7
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So your net worth is not important. You need useful items for the team. I guess it's good for them.
Puny Radiant hides behind their fortifications.
Sort of Shadow Blade, you're in a good place. You just team up, push down lanes. There's not a lot that Tangerine can do to stop it.
Yeah, but
the red mist spreads and Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
To have that mobility in a lot of situations. Arrow.
Eyeing up on the sidelines, Crimson's going to be popped as MTR moves forward. Fends back
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tangerine.
Yeah, but because you don't have the blink, the slug is going to be still pushing right now. Because he's not worried of any catch from your team. So Tangerine doing the right thing, trying to use the slug to split push and use the other heroes to actually try and defend and hold.
You can fall for a T2 here as well. I mean, they are just pushing down the lane.
This is great for Tangerine. Good trade-off. As long as they're not losing.
Killing spree! Dire's top tower is under attack. Double kill!
Hard for the Husker.
DDZ down to half health. The Chronos then. That's going to actually allow them to take down DDZ. Great Chrono from Rod. Moving in for more. They've taken a second. Catching with a double kill. MTR trying to run himself away, but they're hot on his heels. A third down on PowerGaming. And as you said, Tangerine coming out with the plays there.
Yep, that was bad because Centaur had no way of saving his team. Yeah, great, you have a Crimson Guard, but you can't jump once the Chrono comes in. It was a pretty decent Chrono. There's no way you can blink past the Chrono and stun the heroes behind. Like
Dire's middle tower is under attack!
With initiation when the Axe jumps in the previous game, and then the team's Void just jumps behind the Axe and Chronos' team, and you win your team the fight. Without a blink, you can't do that as a Centaur this game. So that fight clearly showed that not having a blink.
Jacko heading in with JYC just seeing if he could get a catch, but Tangerine playing it smart. I mean, so far this game, it certainly feels like Tangerine they've made the smarter decisions.
Yep. And Centaur did not make the smart decision by not getting a blink. I mean, I'm sure he's going to get it fairly soon, but the damage has already been done when you lose a fight like that.
I mean, as you say, you can understand getting the Vanguard first, but you just feel the full-out Crimson was where you would change the build.
I think it's just straight up bad, getting the full-out Crimson at that stage. His team just look at his team, who else is going to initiate? I mean, you want to save the Disrupt to save your Husker, or in case the Grave doesn't...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack!
Disrupt to initiate. So it's all on the center to start the fight or to stop a fight from happening.
Dire's bottom tower is taking many wounds. Dire's structures are fortified. Super fortified. Axe observes carnage underway at Radiant's top tower. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Axe observes carnage underway at Radiant's top tower. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
Tower secured.
That's exactly what you need to see. With that blink down,
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified with 12 important vitamins and minerals. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Slark sees the center.
Dire's bottom tower wishes it was you instead.
Constantly pushing out the lanes, getting a trade off here. Pretty okay for Tangerine.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. If Axe was a tower, he would never fall.
Right now, they got a bottom tier 2, and the tier 2 at top is not even down.
Huskars being focused. This tower will
Mega kill!
DDZ, he needs some kind of backup. He's just jumped straight back in. You can see Void looking for the backline. Chrono, he'll get it off onto 2. Disruption's there to hold back the Void, but DDZ, he hasn't got any save for the teammate because of that Chronosphere. One's going to go down on both sides, but it's a Void for a Huskar trade. Now the Grave comes out onto MTR. Shadow Dance from Shonix as he backs away. He can come back in for anything more. MTR jumping forward, the Fire Blast from Xnova, holding him back. They'll focus down onto the Ogre, chasing him down. Xnova trying to juke it out in the tree line. Isn't going to make it away as the poison
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That was still a really good chrono. He chronoed the Shadow Demon and the Desert, both of them.
It's exactly what
Dire's middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
But it is the Huskar dying on PowerGaming. That hero that they need to have staying alive.
In some ways, you could sort of put some of the blame towards the positioning of the both of the supports. They should be split up. They should never get chronoed in at the same time. There should be like one guy on the left, one guy on the right, so you make sure even if the chrono catches one of the supports, there's still another guy to save the Huskar. And Huskar was like, oh, I'm going in, I dropped my
ultimate. He didn't actually catch the Shadow Demon, but the Shadow Demon just reactively disrupted the Void.
Oh, okay.
So Void chronoed the Dazzle, he then got disrupted, but because he used the Disrupt on the Void, the Huskar has no way of being saved. So kind of considering that, then it's, I guess, a little bit on the Shadow Demon that he was maybe a bit too trigger happy and should have tried to hold on and then save the Huskar instead.
Yeah, you need to prioritize on saving the Huskar there when Huskar. Overall, it was still a pretty decent attempt by Tangerine to...
Much like cordwood before Axe's axe, Dire's top tower is under attacks.
Again, using the lance for the best spring heading into the
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is fallen. Sharpening.
3 items saved with usually at the 3rd item would probably be...
The Dire have cut Roshan down into little pieces.
Tankier and allow you to kite the Huskar a lot.
I mean, is this the case as well? PowerGaming getting the Roshan for free. To Tangerine, are they aware that this happens and they just feel without the Chrono? It's only just come back off cooldown. They just can't fight around the Roche Pit without Chronos, but they need that Chrono to tackle PowerGaming.
Yeah, I think without the Chrono it's just too difficult. Wait for like, it's just a stun. Void is like you always have to play around. It's like Tide Hunter. You have to play around your ultimate cooldowns.
Oh. MTR going to jump forward and he blocked the pounce. So Shonix is going to be fine though. He still has Shadow Dance. The Shadow Blade at the ready.
Okay, so you are going to be able to position yourself appropriately now with a blink on JYC.
And we know JYC, we saw his performance yesterday on Oracle was very, very strong. So he can be in the right position at the right time to make those saves. Rely on the timing of it. It's only going to get harder. They still need more farm on TDZ. He's not quite where he needs to be. You know, Slark and Viper still a few thousand ahead of him.
He's going to have something that will change the tide of the fights a lot. The evasion. So if he can actually get that before the next fight starts, the Halberd, that would be great for his team. It's like a huge boost towards how strong he is. You're not going to want to get an early MKB on Slark or the Viper. So it's going to like make the Huskar have a few minutes of time where you're super strong against them until they get 2 strikes.
top lane, Shonix eyeing up Jacko. Jacko, of course, already played Fury, and that's going to allow Roger to come in. But J-Boys is in the neighborhood, so a little bit of an awkward engagement there for Tangerine, and they're going to have to back out.
Power's going to run over and try to siege.
Kenji coming forward. He's in a lot of trouble. MTR's jumping forward, and PowerGaming in full
Radiant's
force.
middle tower is under attack.
Tangerine
I mean,
with
the only
two
way
blunders.
they made that kill was he needed to get the Chronos at the edge. So
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Onto the Juggernaut.
Like that, the Dire structures cannot be
In
hurt.
a game where
They're
Tangerine
paying a huge price.
Much like
You make
Cordwood
mistakes like
before
that against
Axe's
China,
axe,
but PowerGaming
Dyer's
is
top
very quick to
tower
punish it.
is under attack.
Might have to buy back the
He
Viper.
might need to. He's down for 30
Radiant's
seconds.
towers are
PowerGaming is
fortified,
straight up to your
just
tier
like
threes and start
Axe.
knocking on your door.
No Chrono. How are they going to do this? They have to try and
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Run them low on HP. Hopefully with the cliff, try to deter them. They're not going to use the buyback.
There's your Halberd turn on TDC, as you said. Big Eye pick up the Omni straight onto X-Nova as Jacko jumps in. Takes down another. Rod trying to come through with the time dilation to slow down PowerGaming. They're yet to finish off the tier 3. Shonix getting in position with the Shadow Blade. It's a hard attempt for him to move in on.
The tower is almost down there.
TDC, of course, still with the Aegis intact.
Well, at least they will not force me.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Good happening for them there. He was able to hold on to this buyback on the Viper.
It's a short arrow onto MTR. Again, Rod trying to slow it down. No Chronosphere at the ready, still
They're
on
just going to
cooldown.
hit the Rex. There's no Chrono. They don't have to make any first move attempts. They don't have to jump there. They just need to hit the Rex.
20 seconds until Chronosphere.
Axe's bleed.
Time that Tangerine to be looking at. Needed desperately to hold the back down because they're going to
He's
actually move in.
taking
PowerGaming with the
many
playthrough
wounds.
onto two, the Who Stomp. They're going to bring Kenjic low. Kenjic, he's out. MTR saved just in time by the Shallow Grave, allowing him to force back the rest of the team.
Dyer's
A buyback from
bottom
Viper, but they
tower
need
is
to do something
under
about this. They
attack.
have Chrono available. They found two. They've taken
Radiant's
down the
middle
Aegis.
tower
Killing
is
down for a second
free.
time. DDZ being focused. You see Jacko trying to run himself away from Shonix. They finish this racks off. You can see DDZ just trying to finish it. They will get it. DDZ is going to try to actually find some kills as well. Looked like
That
enough
is
damage, but
expensive. I don't think that was even worth getting the melee racks there. I said that they should not jump. The moment they jumped, they used a buyback. They lost so many heroes there. That was heading forward. That was a big swing for Tangerine there, despite losing the melee racks and using a buyback. They did not have to give up so much for that melee racks. They just needed to siege, stay behind and wait for Tangerine to jump on them. And without Chronosphere, they're just not going to be able to do anything. There's no need to rush in.
Dyer's middle tower is under
you
attack.
don't feel that just considering their lineup and getting a bit desperate in the sense.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
But then again, you have to, you know, take account that there's no need for you to dive in. What if they have buybacks? What if you kill the hero that has buybacks? You're just in a bad position and he buys back and you lose multiple heroes.
Do you like this itemization as well from Tangerine? We've got BKB's going to be the option straight up for Shonix on the Slark. Mirana's also finished off a solo crest because of that fight.
The BKB is going to be good against the Centaur, but I don't think he needs to worry about that. Like, he just needs to come in at the right time. Get more farm. BKB is not going to chill soon. It's going to allow him, yes, to push safe, but I don't think he needs it.
So we're trying to juke this out. The tree line is going to go for the TP, but the disruption's there to set it up. The rest of Tangerine will back off and leave him to die. Gaming getting one.
Oh, they're trying to go for one more kill? No, going to be able to run down the Mirana there. They might have to wait for the next Roshan right now because the last fight gave away so much Aegis plus 2. So give them a much better tool to actually siege the next backs.
Big Aegis stack here as well. Very nice for Jacko.
Yep, that's what you do with your gyro every game, Owen. Ancient stacking.
Yeah, absolute catch-up potential for Jacko. And straight up, pretty much on par now to Shonix and Slark, and we've seen how much space Shonix has been getting all game. So now for Juk to be on par with that. Very nice for PowerGaming, but they've just got to make the right decisions in these fights and try and break the high ground with less of a cost, as they just did in the mid lane.
So they might go for the outer tower and then wait for the next Roshan. I think going for the high ground might be a little too risky here for them. Like one wrong move if they push the high ground and make one wrong move, they're just gonna like probably lose the game. It's very dangerous.
He's incredibly fast. I mean, he's got the axe
Radiant's
down
bottom tower is under attack.
That damage reduction is pretty insane.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
It's like
Radiant's bottom tower tend to your wounded, or put Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe that could be the tool that they need, PowerGaming, to close the high ground advantage.
Back right now. They're gonna defend their lanes, wait for next Roshan. There's no need for them to rush.
Very, very close game at the moment. PowerGaming with that slight edge because they managed to get some of the racks from the mid lane, but obviously Tangerine, a lot of potential from their lineup. A lot of eyes on DDZ and the Huskar. And they are going to make a play now. Yeah, PowerGaming smoking up, ready to make a move.
For a play here without the Centaur.
I mean, I guess the Centaur is he's just required to hit off.
They're trying to bait it out, like, oh, enemy team sees Centaur appearing in the lane. Oh, nothing's going on, nothing fishy is happening. It's a good attempt, but they do not have very good initiation with these 4 heroes.
They have to take it from the start.
Do they have the gem? No.
Courier. Oh, they know, yes.
They saw him. Yeah, they saw him.
Shonix is aware.
And they understand that Power are just waiting for the next Roshan, so they need to put, at least try to put a fight there, maybe get some pots down, try to scout out the area, and understand that, oh, they're going for Rush, we should get ready, smoke up, and go for the contest there on the Roshan.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack!
They're just going to try and siege again.
See how heavy they go in.
They lose the fight here, and
Dyer's top tower is under attack!
DDZ up to the high ground, so attention is going to be they've got all ults available. Chrono.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Silver Edge now to the Shonix as well, so they can deal with DDZ. Combination closing the gap, jumping in with the Silver Edge here onto DDZ. It's going to be defensively disrupted. Moving forward, looking for the Chrono. They're going to get it onto Jacko. Jacko being focused. The Flame Fury was still there. The Stampede damage reduction, saving PowerGaming as they turn back onto Tangerine. Takedown 2. Shonix has popped the BKB, but he's got to run back.
Not to pick sides, but Axe's favorite Radiant bottom barracks have fallen.
It doesn't matter if the Chrono lands on one of the cores, as long as MTR's not in it, can hit R. You can't do anything for the duration. You're losing half the racks and now still trying to fight. Rod jumping forward, but no Chrono at the ready. Blinks back out immediately. DDZ is going to be fine. They don't have the damage to bring down this Huskar. This is going to be very worrying for Tangerine. It's all about Rod's Chrono. He has to get the perfect Chronos to allow them to take a team fight when that Stampede's off cooldown.
That Aghanim was just so powerful in that fight. He needs to catch up more heroes. You can't really just go, oh, I'm just going for this target because he's no one to Aghanim's Stampede came out, can't finish the kill, Chrono wasted, fight over. And right now, I mean, I guess PowerGaming were sort of correct about that decision as well, because the Aghanim Stampede is way too powerful for Tangerine to handle. Even if they landed a 2-man Chrono, as long as Centaur, like if Centaur's outside of Chrono, he pops the Stampede, the fight should still be fine.
Roshan has fallen to the Dyer!
It's going to be super difficult for Tangerine to win a fight.
DD Rune as well outside the pit.
That BKB is like not doing enough, like the slug has to be much doing more damage in the fights there.
I mean, everything coming together now for PowerGaming. DD on the jug, Aegis and Cheese at the ready as well for the side. This is going to be a very hard defense for Tangerine to formulate. Already down 2 sets, at least 2 halves of racks on the bottom of the mid lane. Jam picked up by SD as well. They're ready to go. They're
going to need buybacks for this. They have many buybacks. They have buyback on the Kerchit, they have buyback on Kerchit.
Everyone apart from Void.
Buyback on...
Oh, and the Ogre, sorry.
Yeah, they have 3 buybacks. Okay. 2 heroes does not have buyback. So, I mean, as long as PowerGaming doesn't overextend, they force the buybacks and they back off. And go heal, come again later, depending on situation. If they can proceed to finish off the racks, then go ahead. But they do not have to dive like what happened in the lane. Tier 4, lost 4 heroes.
A worthy fool.
Chrono back online, but pretty much in perfect timing, of course.
A lot of pressure on the corner.
And Stampede pretty much comes out again. Spotting him out in the tree. Shonix!
Axe observes carnage underway at Radiant's top tower.
That was just 1 second and he was just dead.
Slark, he's going to have to buy back. Tangerine, they're backed against the wall. PowerGaming ready to force onto the third lane, take this tier 3 down and open up the base. In fact, on the back lines, you've got a bit of a wraparound. The Chrono's been dropped. They're going to be able to find Jacko. The Stampede coming through. Look at that damage reduction. The Crimson as well. They just can't kill Jacko. TDC jumps forward onto the Viper. Trying to finish off Jacko here, but the Graves, the Crimson guards out Mosen. Just getting himself away. Looks like he goes down to the start. There's only 1,000 died. They have lost, in fact, TDC as well. This is the defense Tangerine need. The stacks on the S is building up on Shonix. They found a third. Jumping forward, chasing down Jacko as well. They've caught JYC. He's going to disrupt himself, but he's going to end up going down 4 dead on PowerGaming. Jacko, the only one to get himself out of there. Tangerine with the exact defense that they needed.
That was quite weird as well. They tried to focus the hero that has Aegis, and Power chose to drop their defensive spells on the Jug, whereas they could have actually tried to use their spells on the Huskar, because Jug had Aegis, so it was very weird that they tried to grave him and tried to disrupt him, whereas they could have just let him die, respawn with Aegis with full health, and Omnisurge and try to fight, and try to keep the Huskar alive. So I think that was a big misplay there by PowerGaming, choosing to use their spells on the Juggernaut that has Aegis.
Absolutely, for PowerGaming, they can't afford to have these kind of plays. He's getting a lot out of that, as we can see 24 S shift stacks. Albert being picked up, in fact, on catching him by the supply. Would you like?
Huskar. Pretty good against the Huskar.
Yep.
Disarm him. Invasion is pretty good. Huskars are not going to build MKBs, so it's going to be really useful against him.
2 minutes left on Jacko's Aegis. We'll see if PowerGaming try for something again.
Look at that. 5,000 gold swing almost. It's going to give Tangerine a lifeline there. Because that fight, PowerGaming were extremely strong. Aegis, Stampede. I was kind of expecting them to actually take the fight and run
Stampeding to allow Jacko to try and close the gap here. MTR coming in as well with the Diffusal Blade slow. They've caught him out. He's got a Glimmer Cape. Sentry's going to be laid down. He's going to try for the TP out, but the disruption from JYC there to hold Ketchik in place and allow PowerGaming to take him down. And indeed, buyback unavailable. He's 130 gold short. That's got to hurt here for Ketchikimba. 70 seconds, no Viper. A bit of a misplay. I mean, this certainly seems to be a game of mistakes. And this one could be incredibly costly for Tangerine.
Oh, Centaur Illusions, OD. Go hit the towers, let the towers kill themselves.
Certainly do this slow siege, Alliance style. Rest in peace.
You know, there's a saying,
Radiant's top tower has fallen! Radiant structures are fortified!
Tangerine, they have a Chrono. They have a relatively final start in a very, very rocky situation now as Jacko just hits onto the racks.
Dire's courier shall carry no more. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks have fallen.
We'll see who he starts.
Radiant's middle barracks have fallen.
He finds the courier. They need a little bit more than that to stop PowerGaming's momentum at the moment. Jacko just Blade Fury and committing. Finishing off the melee racks. Defending off the slot. Viper will be back in 7 seconds, but the base, absolute disarray as PowerGaming evolves, but doesn't damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Again, the Stampede comes out and they can't do any damage. Huge damage negation coming out from the Aghanim Dolphin Sentinel. 2 down, immediately on Tangerine. The Crimson comes forward and Stronic tries to fight it. Mosen drains himself and Ketchik, and Mosen just forced back to the base. Ketchik down, Morgan without buyback. GG is called. PowerGaming knocking Tangerine down and out. They will be the ones to move forward. Not the cleanest of performances there from PowerGaming. Tangerine definitely had their